20 happy years.
Welcome back to the Rest Area Podcast. It's me, Joe. I'm here joined by...
This is Herson.
I'm Nick.
And yeah, let's get started on today.
Alright guys, so this podcast is going to be audio only because we're actually on the road right now.
With the big boss himself.
Yeah, we're on our way back from Iowa. Me and Jerson just came back from North Dakota.
You got anything to say for us, Jerson?
Right on.
A little bit about yourself. Tell them who you are.
So my name is Herson, and I'm friends with Nick and Joe.
We're co-workers.
Friends.
I guess we're co-workers.
No, we're playing.
Joe got salty one time. I introduced him as a co-worker instead of a friend. But yeah, we're friends.
We're friends.
We're friends, right? Right, Joe? Right?
Yeah, we're friends.
Sound like Alex.
Yeah, met them through JM Auto, driving a lot. We basically take road trips for a living, and we're always on the road. That's our life at the moment.
Yeah, basically.
So earlier we were talking about drinking and drugs and sex and everything
Debauchery.
that we do with each other on the road. No, but we were talking about how different things are used as drugs, even though they're not considered drugs. What would you
Like,
say is something that you
Different addictive
partake in?
stuff.
Well, I was just talking to Jose about video games and how we're addicted to a certain game. He was telling me World of Warcraft, and I think I'm addicted to FIFA because I'm always playing FIFA. Anytime I have time to myself and I'm not going out or working, I spend a lot of time on FIFA.
I think the only thing I'll consider myself like addicted to is like drinking, but it's like I rarely drink.
Nick,
I rarely drink it.
you drink once a week.
What's rarely?
once a week for the
Wait,
podcast.
what's rarely for you though?
Like I used to drink like almost every other day when I was home,
Oh wow.
and because I was bored, so I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll get drunk. But now it's like maybe once a week for the podcast, and then socially I'll drink too. So yeah, that's like the only thing I'm like could be like slightly addicted to, but not really.
I'm very I'm a social drinker, but I always go out, so it's like I can't really call myself social drinking. Like a social drinker if I drink all the time because I'm always out.
What are some of your go-to like drinks?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Well, I like to start off with a cocktail sometimes, just to get a little buzz,
Okay.
because beers take forever, even if it's like Revolver and stuff like that. And then by the time I get a buzz, it's like I'm
Already-
bloated, you know.
Yeah.
So I like starting off with a little cocktail or something like that, and then. But I like sipping on beers more than cocktails. One, because they're cheaper, and then two, they're easier to put down for me than like doing
Actually,
cocktails all night.
I'll drink beer if I want to not get drunk, because it takes me like a lot of beer like to get drunk. So it actually helps since like it gets you full and everything, you know. But I still like drink like IPAs, like stronger beer and everything. But yeah, like I use like beer as a tool not to get drunk.
Do you guys like to do straight liquor, like shots or
I do.
something on the
Yeah.
rocks?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do straight shots. when I
Usually
get
like a
fucked
whiskey.
up. I'll do anything, unless it's like gin. I hate gin.
I don't know why. One time I was in a bar down in San Antonio, and asked for gin on the rocks.
Ugh. Yuck.
Like I have no idea why. I was like, "Let me get a gin on the rocks." Oh, it was rough. Dude.
Have you had gin before that?
No.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh my god, why did I get this on the rocks?"
Yeah, I remember one time I got like super fucked up, and the only thing left was a bottle of Bombay, and so they started making everyone chug it, and I was gone already at this point, so I started chugging it, and I wanted to throw up from how bad it tasted. That's how I knew that shit was nasty.
My body doesn't do too well with handling liquor, like straight liquor. After a few nights of partying too hard, like I feel like my body doesn't handle it very well.
Yeah.
So I usually will just drink beers. I'll do cocktails for sure.
Cocktails are good.
Cocktails, yes, but like straight liquor, I'll avoid that like the plague. I can't do that.
I mean, for shots, of course.
Shots only if like people are like peer pressuring me and they're
Like Jose.
oh, yeah, like Jose telling me like, oh, you're a little girl, you can't take the shot. I'm like, all right.
I'm like, all right.
Your
we
peer
gotta take
pressure
the
worked
shot.
on me. I'll take the shot.
Jose, introduce
Yeah.
yourself.
Hey, this is Jose.
All right, that's good enough.
Great
He's like-
introduction.
he's like, I'm not trying to get caught up. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's see. Oh yeah, but have you guys actually had like any actual drugs but like actual definition.
No.
Yes.
Yes. What have you partaken in, and what did you like?
So I haven't done very many. Obviously, weed. I did cocaine and an MDMA tab. So I could say
What's
like
cocaine
3.
like?
What's cocaine?
Like, what's it like?
What's cocaine?
Well, that night I was also drinking a lot. So what it
That's
it
typically how
definitely
cocaine stories
it
start.
definitely helped me stay up the whole night.
Okay.
Just knocking back more beers and alcohol in general.
Mm-hmm.
So it helped with that. As far as anything else,
So it gets you like almost like hyperactive.
yeah, almost something like that, man. Like we stayed up all night.
Yeah, it's
Honestly,
meant
we
to
stayed up all night.
It's meant to like straighten you out when you're fucked up.
Yeah,
So
like-
that's why most people end up trying it for the first time when they're gone.
Isn't it like Adderall or some shit?
Not really. Actually, you know what? I've never tried cocaine, so I can't speak for it.
Uh-huh.
But from what I've heard, no.
Okay.
The one I really did enjoy though was the MDMA tab. So I'm really into EDM music. So I
Yeah.
like to go to all the EDM concerts that I can go to.
Mm-hmm.
So surprisingly, like I had never done the party drugs that are always there, but like I
Molly?
just decided to give it a shot. And I think MDMA is like the main active ingredient, like in ecstasy and Molly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the main one. So like I just got pure MDMA tab, and it's definitely an experience. It's unlike the typical high you would get off of weed.
Yeah.
It's something a little different. Like you feel like this warmth inside of you, and you just feel like overly friendly, and like everybody around you you feel like you're connected to them
Yeah.
in this weird like
And whenever you're on that, everyone around you is always asking, "Oh, bro, are you rolling?
Yeah.
Bro, are you rolling?
Basically.
Are you rolling?" That's literally all they ask. 'Cause
because
that's what it's
it
called.
feels good. I'm not gonna lie, it feels good. But few helpful tips if you ever do it, like make sure you stay hydrated. Like
Uh-huh.
always have a lot of water, and also you start your jaw starts chewing a lot and stuff. So if you
Okay.
don't, a good thing to do is have a lot of gum with you. If not, you'll like grind your teeth,
Oh.
and then it'll hurt the next
So
day. Or
is it
that
like
same night.
like acid where you can have like a bad trip and stuff, or is it just always good?
It's always good.
I think it's
From what
always,
I've
always
heard.
on the good side.
Okay.
From what I've been experienced, but
Well, it's just a happy drug that lasts
Yeah.
like 2-3 hours.
Oh,
So
exactly.
Like, it's
Now the come down too, though,
Mhm.
like if you get like a really good high, the come down can kind of suck too.
I
Like,
bet because you use
yeah.
all those in like endorphins and everything.
Yeah. So that if you're very emotional, like you can get very more emotional when you're
Okay.
coming down from it. But overall, like it's definitely a fun drug.
Mm-hmm.
I've only tried it once, so I don't have too much experience with it. But
Yeah.
in the future, like if the opportunity came up, I wouldn't be opposed to trying it again.
Yeah, I've never done drugs, so I love hearing about like how like drugs affect certain people and everything, and like different like experiences people have. It's like really interesting to me. Even though I
Yeah.
look like a drug dealer.
Have have people ever tried to like peer pressure you because you haven't like done drugs? Have they peer pressured you to like try everything?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I've had like hundreds of people like offer to smoke me out.
No,
So
no, I
if
know.
I-
Like
so if
smoke-
I ever do like want to smoke, like I'm good for like a month.
no, but like I know like smoking, but I mean like other drugs.
Oh, I don't think so. But also, I don't think I look that approachable. So yeah, I mean, I've had people want to sell me drugs on the side of the road, plenty of times. But I've never
What?
been like, yeah,
I've never had that.
I'll be
That's never
I'll be
happened to me
walking into
either.
like a CVS, someone drive like, "Hey, bro, you looking for that good?" And I was like, "Nah, bro, I'm straight, bro."
He's like, you looking for that good head?
That's a different drug.
That's a different.
Have you ever
one.
seen those memes where, like in school, they teach you that everybody's gonna try to offer you drugs, and then
Yeah.
people are like, "Where are these people at?"
I need to
Like-
meet these people.
I need the. Are you talking about the plug? Because I need them right now.
I mean, I got a couple on my phone.
Dang.
Yeah, the only thing I've ever tried was like marijuana, the Mary Jane. I've tried Adderall, and that's it. I haven't tried anything else. I've never done coke, acid. I'm scared of acid. I'm scared to have a bad trip because
Yeah, that does sound scary.
because it lasts the whole. What's the 2-day process?
2 days.
I think
Yeah.
when it comes to those like heavier
Jesus
drugs,
Christ.
I'm more scared about the quality of the substance I'd be getting, just because like I don't really, since I'm not into that stuff, like I don't know what would be like considered good quality versus
I
something that
heard-
could really like mess my body up.
Mhm.
I heard when you take an acid tab and it tastes too much like you're licking the battery. I heard that's bad. I mean,
Yeah.
it sounds bad.
Yeah,
but-
it sounds
See,
really
I wouldn't
bad.
even know what's going
Yeah,
on,
exactly.
and like I wouldn't know what I'm putting in my body.
Mhm.
So I'd be kind of wary about even trying something like that.
That's like one of the reasons why I wouldn't want to do drugs, because I would be scared to be in an altered state of mind. Like, I don't know, like that worries me. I don't know.
I
But
feel I'm down for
still-
Molly.
I still like get drunk in here. That's like an
Yeah.
altered state of mind too. But I feel like more control. Like it's not like I'm tripping or anything.
Yeah, for sure.
What's your opinion on drugs? Do you think they're bad? Like, growing up, we're always taught like how bad they are and how you shouldn't do them and all this stuff.
I
Like,
feel like it depends on the drug.
what kind of opinion do you guys have on it?
It depends on the drug, but people are gonna do what they want to do. So I don't know if it's like good or bad either way. Heroin and all that shit's pretty bad.
I feel like it depends on the person because you can definitely let it consume your life. And
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we've been taught how bad it can be, how much it can destroy your everyday life. So obviously, like if you have that type of addictive personality that you,
Like a weak willpower.
yeah, then you can get addicted to it. But like, I don't know, man. I think that I like to believe that everybody should have their own, what do you call it? Like will, like you can
Free
do
will?
whatever you want to. Free will, exactly.
Yeah.
And like you get to choose what you want to do with your life, and I feel like anybody should have that option. Like, you shouldn't have to worry about some being criminalized for something like marijuana.
Yeah. Well, I saw a tweet the other day that it was damn, it's just crazy how weed's legal in only a couple states. Like, I thought we were in this bitch united.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, that's kind of true. Like, it's weird how they pick and choose what states can legalize marijuana.
Yeah. I think the only problem like I would have with drugs is when people like really let it affect their lives. Like they'll miss work and shit. Like some people like miss work to get high and shit. Like just off weed and shit. Like I have like a problem with that. It's like can you really not stop smoking weed like to go to work? Like how are you gonna afford the weed if you don't work? Type shit, you know.
What's the people you hang around with?
Mhm.
I can get behind that though. I feel like everything you do, you should do it in moderation and responsibly.
Yeah. Sure.
Like just the same thing with something like alcohol. Obviously,
Yeah.
you don't want to be drunk all the time in front of everybody. Nobody's
sure.
gonna want to be around you. Same with the drugs. Like if you're gonna do it, I think you should be responsible in the
Unless
way you take it.
Unless you find like like-minded people, then just get all fucked up together.
Yeah.
Those are heroin addicts.
Yeah, we'll just meet up at the crib and shoot up.
Little casual thing, you know.
That's actually very scary. Like the possibility that you can end up like that. I mean, people obviously don't know they're gonna end up like that because
Yeah,
if,
sure.
if it was your choice, you would never do that. So it's scary that it can happen.
But hey, they always got some money for some heroin.
Shit, you right about that. They got more money than me then.
They shoot up all the time. Like, where'd y'all get that money from?
I got a Gucci wallet. I got Gucci syringes.
Hey, check out the syringe case I just bought.
They just balling out Amazon to go, like the Prime delivery
Yeah.
to the crack houses and shit.
I don't know.
I wonder how many of them have phones.
I've seen a lot of homeless people with phones.
I don't think I've probably seen like one or two, but I wonder
seen-
how many
seen
of them
like
have
10.
it.
What has phones?
Homeless people?
Oh, homeless people. Oh, I don't know.
Would you rather be homeless or would you like go to jail instead?
Go to jail. That's a free workout plan to get skinny.
I think I'd rather be homeless.
Really?
I don't want to be in jail.
Mm-hmm.
At least when you're homeless, you're free to go wherever you want to go. Versus
Yeah.
jail, you're confined to just being in jail.
Yeah, that's true.
Um,
It's more of like living against surviving.
yeah.
What I was gonna bring up is like, all right, so obviously like we all want money, one day like a stupid amount of it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say right now, someone gave you like a check for like
Yes, I'll do it.
$5 million. What's the first thing you'd buy?
First thing I buy. First thing
Wow.
I'm doing is giving my parents some money.
The first thing I would do is make sure to settle any debt I have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I have been wanting to get some sort of land in some sort of house.
Would you build a house on the land? Or
Yeah, I'd probably get some land and build a house on the land.
Yeah. Like a big house for like you and all your family, or just you?
Just me, but it has to be big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like maybe I can make another one for like my family and stuff, but I'd like to have my own place.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What about you guys?
Gucci wallet.
Just one Gucci wallet.
One
please.
Gucci wallet, please, and $5 million. Nah, I'd probably buy like my dream car, which would be the Raptor. Like right off the bat.
I go put it all on the roulette table. No,
Sounds smart.
No. Fuck that. Imagine losing $5 million in like a second.
Wow.
That would be like you kill yourself. Like that's some like depressing shit. Nah, I would give my parents some money, buy a house. I don't know if I'll buy land because I'm not really that interested in land.
You know what?
That interested in land?
Oh.
I want to live like closer to the city.
My ideal spot would be somewhere that is in the outskirts of a city where it's not too far but not too close.
Okay.
That way you get to experience both, like kind of like
it's not too far to go into the city and everything.
Right. Like if you're craving like city stuff, you can always drive like 30, 40 minutes into the city. But at the same time, you have your own privacy and your own land. Because me personally, like I would probably have like a decent amount of land, and I don't want to get like 4-wheelers and something to where I could have like friends over with like bonfires and stuff like that.
I don't need land.
Speakers.
You have land, and I'll just come over.
Yeah. Somewhere where like a neighbor can't tell me like, oh, turn your music down.
Yeah.
It's just like I have a lot of land and I can blast my speakers outside.
I would definitely want to invest like in a woodworking shop, like all the like proper tools and everything. Okay. I like to do that in my free time. Like have it paid off, you know.
What's your guys' number for like for you to retire? Like an amount of money that you think, an amount of money that I'm checking it. An amount of money that you think you could live off of forever. Like, what's your number?
Man, I don't even have a number. I'd have to put more thought into that question.
For real?
Yeah, just
I put a little bit of thought into it.
What is your number?
My number, like realistically, 25 million.
Wow,
25 million.
25 million.
That's a big number, man.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll just get an even billion.
I would stay in Dallas for sure. I wouldn't leave. I love Dallas. I just don't love like the location I'm in, or like have been in.
Where is your location at the moment?
Huh?
Where do you live?
Oak
What
Cliff.
say you repping?
Oh, Oak Cliff. I'm in Oak Cliff, bro.
You mean Ferris?
Nah, bro, I'm in Oak Cliff. Don't need to know that.
Homeboy repping Ferris over here. He got a Ferris shirt right now.
Dang.
He's gonna get a Ferris County tattoo.
75125 on my chest.
Is that really the area code?
Yes, 75125.
Wow.
But what's it called? Speaking of like dream shit that we would want but never get, what kind of dream job would you guys want to work in?
I would like more of like a collection of things I would do. More of a collection of stuff I would do.
Like what?
Like I'd wanna work in shop. I had this idea for like a design coffee shop where you could like not rent but like use the equipment there, like to print your own shirts and everything, like digital printing, and like have like a little coffee shop in the front, like have all the like big like printers, like the Epson printers and all that stuff in the back. You just pay like a flat fee and you know you do whatever with whatever you need. And then honestly I kind of want to become like a elementary school art teacher because I feel like that'd be fun. And at that age, like kids like love art, and they're not dickheads like in high school.
I mean, all that sounds pretty achievable. Doesn't
Oh,
sound
you're right.
too
I'll just do it.
Yeah, it doesn't sound too unrealistic.
Mine would be like be able to work for maybe like a well-known either like Nat Geo or like BBC.
Okay.
And then be like on the crews that go out to like those exotic areas and take pictures and video of like
that would be
animals
really
and
cool.
landscapes. I think that's really cool. Like if you ever look at the behind the scenes on like Planet Earth or you know all those like nature documentaries, it takes like a lot of patience and a lot of time for them to sit there to grab the perfect shot. But I feel like once you have that shot, like it must be really rewarding like knowing that you
Oh yeah, absolutely.
you're out
For
there
sure.
forever. And that's
Whenever-
something that like I like. I appreciate the aesthetic of like a nice photograph, or
Yeah.
like the cinematography of a nice video. So that's like something that I've always
Yeah,
really
like,
kind of
recently,
liked.
like you bought like lenses for your phone and everything.
Yeah. So I bought these. The company's called Sandmark, and they're like high-end little lenses for iPhone, and that's some Android phones too, but mostly iPhone.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to like try to play around with those a little bit. Like I think it's good entry-level things whenever you're not full-fledged, like wanting to buy expensive gear,
Yeah.
but you still like it as a hobby. Like I
Mhm.
think it's a good little in between.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you got a gimbal and all that shit.
Yeah.
For your iPhone.
I definitely want to get it more into photography because, like, now I take photos, but I wouldn't feel comfortable. Like, I'd want to be like more of the portrait aspect and like a little bit of like nature. But right now, I wouldn't feel comfortable like charging people because the camera I have right now is good, but I want better quality like to give people, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely like doing like animal shooting and all that type of shit. Like, that's really really cool. Like, I love seeing those photos and everything.
Yeah, they're really nice. What about you, Joe? You know,
Dream job?
yeah, dream job.
Dream job for me. I've had like multiple like things that I've like thought about doing.
Yeah.
My biggest thing was always working with kids somehow. Trying to influence kids and just be a positive role model in their lives. That's always like brought me joy. But I know like you don't make much money off things like that. But as far as like dream, I guess be making good money off influencing kids and just having them to look up to somebody.
So
I
you want to
guess.
be a YouTuber?
I guess, but more impact, like more like in person, you know.
Like how like what would you be doing? Just like
Well, I mean, I would want like my own summer program or after school program
okay,
with kids and just
like just talk to them or like will there be activities?
yeah, there'd be like just how I grew up, you know, doing activities and stuff like that in summer
Okay.
camp. But like, I don't know, there's certain agendas that I didn't agree with back then with them,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's something I would want to do.
Okay.
That's just one of the many things. Like, I have a bunch of business ideas. Like, this kind of goes along with that actually, but it'd be like a create space. And I had told like Nick and Alexis about this a while back, but it was like basically just a space in Dallas that kind of like you were saying with the coffee shop, but like it's just a space where you can pay a monthly fee, and you can link up with other artists. So you know how there's like photographers,
Yeah.
but they're always missing a model.
Yeah.
So maybe if you're an aspiring model, you can link up with a photographer at this
So
place.
it's like
and-
almost like a networking.
yeah, it's a
place.
networking thing. Like, and like with music, producers always need artists, and artists always need producers,
Mhm.
and just somewhere of business where like you know you can get serious and just have all the equipment
like
there.
almost have like a board of like, you know, here's a bunch of singers, here's producers.
Yeah, and then
you're able to contact them.
yeah, and then have like art shows there, show off people's art. You know, whether it's
Yeah.
paintings or photography or music, and you know we have like somewhere in the back where you can set up a space for like small shows. You know,
Okay.
stuff like that. Like I really want to do that because when you think of like
It's like
People-
a professional event center type
yeah,
thing.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, okay.
And so like when you think of people making it out the hood, you never hear that many people making it out of like Dallas.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is because it has a lot to do with greed. People don't want other people to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
So when they get out the hood, they don't put other people on.
And it's always like
like-
competition.
Yeah.
What, do you think that's like a mentality in Dallas or what?
It's definitely in Dallas, but I don't know if it's I don't know where else, you know, because obviously
Right.
like
Just
in
speaking from-
in Atlanta, you see how many artists come out of there.
Do you think it's like a race ethnicity type of issue, or do you think it's just like a
I think it's just where we're from.
where you're from?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Like I said, like you look at Houston and Atlanta, a lot of artists come out of there, and they're both diverse. I mean,
Yeah, they support their local artists and play them on the radio more
a
often
lot
and stuff
more.
like that.
Yeah, Cali too. Cali's pretty good at that. New York's very good at that.
I see.
They have a bunch of small time people always at least getting to the semi-pro stage, versus Dallas. You know, the only people I know, and as far as the music goes, There's like this dude named Yellow Beezy. He's pretty big right now. He's no longer like he's an Oak Cliff artist.
Yeah.
He's no longer just like Dallas. He's like, all of the U.S.
Okay.
I really couldn't name anybody else, honestly, that's making it, or at least killing it.
Right.
What about Post Malone?
Yeah, but he's right outside DFW. Came out of
Grapevine, right?
Grapevine Mills.
Grapevine? Okay.
Yeah, so it's about 35 minutes out of Dallas. But
We can include him in the Metroplex.
No, we really can.
Yeah.
I mean, he claims Dallas, and we'll claim him, no problem.
Yeah.
But two people out of what? How many years?
He's bringing back his festival here.
Yeah, Posty Fest.
Yeah.
Posty
Yeah, I want to
Fest.
go. I want to go so bad.
I didn't know it was a thing.
No, he I think he started it last year.
Yeah, he's only done it once.
Yeah, but he has an album coming out.
This is my windscreen.
He has an album coming out next month.
Cool.
Yeah, I remember you told me.
What about oh, sorry to cut you off. What'd you say?
No, you're fine.
You said that's one of the things you've thought about doing, but what are some other dream job scenarios you've had in the past?
Definitely growing up, I always thought I was gonna play professional football. That's like the ultimate like dream, but that's pretty far out of my grasp right now.
Okay.
But yeah, that was growing up like the plan from like probably 6th grade, 7th grade, up until about senior year, and then I realized, oh shit, I'm not gonna be able to do that because it's just a whole different level once you get to the college stage.
Another thing I wanted to do was, for me, have like a successful like clothing brand. Like I have one right now, but I kind of like I feel lost because I don't know what to do or what to do next or how to start it off really.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Well, the biggest thing is building your brand and collaborating with people who have more influence than you, which is just networking.
Yeah,
so going out and just honestly just finding models with clout to photograph.
Myself.
I don't know about that one. No, but honestly, that's all it is now.
No, yeah,
clout.
for sure.
Clout.
Joe,
is
you
like,
have clout?
I have a tad bit of clout. So
Everyone knows you.
A couple, everyone knows me, but I mean it's whatever. Everyone knows me.
no big deal.
That's not a big deal. No, the other day, no, it's been a while actually, but I was explaining clout to Jose, our boss.
Oh yeah.
And so he was like, "How would you measure this clout?" And I was like, "Well, 100 being like Beyonce,
Uh-huh.
and then anywhere in like the 80s and up would be anyone famous,
Okay.
and 70s would be like Instagram models, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So 60s would just be like locals who are big, and then 50s would be just people who are popping but not like I guess trending and stuff on social media. And I gave myself a 35. And so after this short brief like examination of what clout is, I ranked myself at 35. I was like, it's not too little, not too much. And Jose's like, "Are you sure you're 35?" He was
I remember I was in the car when you said that.
Yeah, he was like, 35 is kind of high for you, Joe. And I was like,
If you have 35, I probably have like 5.
No, and
like
then
0 clout.
honestly, he got me on that one because I was like, you know what, 35 is pretty high for myself. I was like, I'm more like a mid-range 20 kind of guy, probably like 23. But yeah, that's where I stand at right now.
Clout.
I think with this podcast, I actually got a little bit more because people have like called me like not like random people, but people I don't really talk to or keep up with, but we have each other's numbers or something like that. They'll call me and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, listen to the podcast. This episode was pretty good," or they'll even tell me which one was like kind of boring, and whatnot. And I appreciate when people tell me the bad shit, so we can build off of that, not just have everyone kiss your ass.
Yeah, for sure.
So I've actually had a lot of requests to
really?
talk about sports.
Sports.
And I never talk about sports because one, Nick doesn't watch sports or know much about them.
Actually, if you like, I could throw my mic over to Jose. He knows a lot about sports. Jose, you want to talk about some sports?
Yeah, he wants to talk about some sports. Look at him. Pass him the mic. So we are here joined by Jose. He's our boss at JM, our
Boss
dispatcher,
man.
big boss man. Jose, everything. Nick's gonna sub out for a little bit. We're bringing in LeBron James of sports. No, but yeah, we're gonna have a little segment, I guess, because all three of us enjoy sports very much. And I guess I'll start off by asking your guys' favorite teams. You can go first, Jose.
Well, I just want to start saying off, I guess, it's pretty cool that you guys have a podcast. You know, I think it's pretty neat. It's something that I guess when I was your age, I wouldn't even think because it wasn't available, you know. But it's pretty cool. Just you can sit down, chat around, talk about whatever you want to. No filter. It's cool. It's a cool thing. So,
Yeah.
And thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem.
I second that.
Yeah, when we have, right now we're in the process of getting that fourth mic, so whenever you have you guys as regulars, and it'll just be something we chat about all the time. We can drink. And
Yeah, because we're always chatting.
Anyway.
All the time.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you guys come and go to the office and are going to go on a trip, those 5-10 minutes you guys are waiting,
we just chat it up.
Yeah, and it's fun.
Mhm.
It makes my day. So
I feel like talking to people is the number one best distraction while being on the road.
For sure.
Because especially like if it's somebody you click with and can have a good conversation with, time just goes by so much faster that way.
especially with hours and hours.
Yeah, hours and hours that we have to drive. Because I've learned that because sometimes in the past I've never really been a guy to call people on the phone very often. But sometimes on these long trips, I'll call some of my friends, see how they're doing, and that conversation can go 1 or 2, 3 hours easily.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps me a lot because then I don't have to think about how many hours are left on my trip. And then when I look back up after the conversation, it's oh, you only have 2 hours left or something.
Yeah, that's the best part when you're doing that.
Yeah.
But back to your question, man. Sports. I love sports. I'm a Dallas guy. I'm a Texas guy. So I'm a football guy mainly. I love basketball as well. So Dallas Cowboys for sure. Always,
Yeah.
First and foremost, Dallas Cowboys are the number one team in the world.
America's team.
America's team.
We're going all the way this year. There's nothing worse than people who are from Dallas and they don't go for Dallas teams, or
my
even
God,
worse.
yes.
I don't actually. I have respect for you if you move from another place and you come
Yeah.
to Dallas and you're going for your home team. So if your home team, let's say, is Jacksonville Jaguars or just someone who isn't obviously you're not going for them just because they're a good team.
Yeah.
When people just follow a team because they're good, that gets me mad.
That also goes for professionals, even college players that play here in Texas. Oh, I don't want to go back to Texas. I want to play for that team or that team outside. I don't know if I was a college basketball player, and I'm in the draft and I'm in the first round, and I'm from Austin, for example. Man, I want to play for a Texas team, but that's me. I guess some players just, I guess they see a bigger market out there and they just want the money for sure.
Yeah. What about you, Jerson? What's your favorite teams?
Very similar to what Jose just said, man. I'm from Dallas as well, so all my top, at least all my top American League teams are going to be the Dallas teams, Cowboys, Mavericks. Those are probably the ones I watch the most, and I'll just kind of support the other ones, the Rangers and the Stars. I haven't been to too many of those games, and I don't follow them too much, but I'm not gonna support any other team besides those.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What other sports do you keep up with? I know you're a big soccer guy.
Yeah, actually, that's probably my top sport that I like the most. Since I do like to play a lot of FIFA, so I'll watch a lot of soccer. I'm not gonna say I have a favorite team. I used to say that I liked Real Madrid, but now
The European soccer.
Yeah, the European soccer, Spanish league team, Real Madrid. But now, I don't even really say I'm a fan of them,
Yeah.
just because I just like watching entertaining matches at this point when it comes to
So
European
just
soccer.
a fan of soccer
Yeah,
in general.
yeah, just
That's
a fan
good,
of
that's
soccer in
good.
general.
I mean, soccer is the number one sport in the world.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how much, especially in Europe, it's worth. It's super valuable. But back to
The Cowboys.
The Cowboys, even though football is just, I guess, an American sport, it still outshines
Every other team
yeah,
in the world.
In the world.
Yeah, in the
Exactly.
world. That's crazy.
And you can tell just by the value. of the Cowboy brand.
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboy.
Yeah,
brand.
like when I was younger, I used to have this like cowboy Letterman that it had like all the Super Bowls that we won and stuff like that. I had got it for Christmas one year, and I went to Mexico with it on, and everyone while I was over there like not only knew who the Cowboys were, but I was getting compliments left and right, and people asking me how much like to buy it off my back, you know. And I was like, you know, I probably would have sold it if I had bought it, depending on the money. But it was a gift from my mom. Like I was 7th grade, I think. So that, man, I just wore that thing proud everywhere I went.
Oh yeah.
And so it was just crazy to me. Like, you know, I'm in Mexico where football really isn't. Well, now it's popping actually, but back then it was not popping at all. And so it's crazy how many people recognized it, but not only recognized but had respect for the star.
How do you feel about like football going into Mexico like that, and even into London? You know, Great Britain over there.
I'm glad it's expanding. It could definitely use a little bit more shine in other countries. I wouldn't mind like more competition. You know, me and Justin were actually talking about this earlier that you can't really call a team world champions when you're the only ones participating in the tournament, right? That being said, we would destroy everyone right now if we made like our best teams play. You know, teams from other countries, we would destroy them. But Justin was saying, you know, they'd probably adapt and end up, you know, getting some competition.
I was saying that I think it'd be cool to have a tournament that's similar to what they do in Europe called the Champions League, where in Europe they have top leagues in just about every single European country. So you have the Spanish La Liga, the Premier League in England, the Serie A in Italy, Bundesliga in Germany. So each league has obviously their own set of teams. So they send their top, I think it's their top 4 teams out of the season. The previous season, they send them to the tournament called the Champions League. And so the best teams in Europe, or all the best clubs in Europe, are playing each other for this prestigious title. And I think it'd be kind of cool if, I know that maybe football, it wouldn't be too possible since the NFL is like by far the best league in the world. But maybe something like basketball, where it could be like the top clubs in Europe versus the top clubs in the NBA. And I think other countries obviously can send their own top clubs. And I think that'd be a really interesting tournament. Obviously, the NBA would probably wipe the floor with most of the teams. But I think over the years, this would help the other countries, because then they would play versus better opposition and then learn every year to the point where they can slowly start catching up and then make like an entertaining tournament.
Yeah, that sounds interesting for sure.
Yeah.
And, you know, speaking of NBA, I think it's interesting. I like the fact that a lot of our players here are from Europe, you know?
Yeah.
That's true.
And not only that, they're focusing on recruiting and looking around for more players over there, because that's what they do. That's their life, man. They're from smaller, poorer countries, and they have this one shot to make it, and let's focus on basketball. And you know, there's people that go over there and try to look at them and judge them and score them and see if they can get into the draft, you know.
Yeah.
Like Luka. Just like Luka. Speaking of Luka, what kind of legend or staple do you think he's going to leave here in Dallas for us? Do you think he could potentially surpass Dirk, or do you think what Dirk has left will never be surpassed here in Dallas?
I hope he surpasses Dirk, man. That'd be great for the Mavericks franchise. Like, Dirk is seen as, you know, the GOAT of the Mavericks organization. There's no denying it. He's a legend in Dallas. He's an idol in Dallas.
For sure.
So, like, if Luka can somehow surpass that, that would just mean more championships for us, man.
Yeah.
So, like, I would like that.
So do you think he could, potentially? Because, honestly, Luka's rookie year was 10 times better than Dirk's rookie year. Dirk's rookie year was horrible. But he went off in the offseason, and he worked really hard. And, you know, he came, you know, back as a beast.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Luka already has more support than Dirk ever did starting off.
I feel like if Porzingis stays here with Luka and they both stay healthy, I think it'll be one of the most dynamic duos in the NBA. You know, like we'll be right up there with the top duos that are in the West at the moment.
Who is that right now?
Right now, it's like you got AD and LeBron in the Lakers. You have Kawhi and Kyrie, right?
Yeah.
With the
Clippers.
You still have the Splash Brothers and the Warriors.
Westbrook went to Houston.
Yeah, Westbrook and Harden are back together. It's I think healthy Porzingis with Luka is right up there with those guys, man. Especially because Luka's ceiling is so high. So
and then Porzingis he's a 3-point shooter, isn't he?
Porzingis is
He can drain them from far away.
Yeah, Porzingis is amazing when he's healthy.
That's a really good backcourt right there.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah, it's great, man. You know, it's hard to compare Dirk with somebody like Luka. It's a different league now than it was when he first started 20 years ago. You know, Dirk is amazing, great. He invented a shot that hardly anybody can replicate. I seen Kevin Durant try to use it a couple times. You know, but that shot is amazing, and he works so hard. I mean, he's still in the league after so many years. But now I think the league is more fast-paced. It's a different type of game, which is nice, you know. Somebody like Luka can come in here at such a young age and just kind of change the face of the Dallas Mavericks. It's amazing.
Yeah, they worked out perfectly for us. The way that the ending of Dirk's career was the beginning of another young legend. And he starting off in his first year, he won Rookie of the Year. He broke a lot of records as far as rebounds and scoring and 3 points and all this shit. So, I mean, it's really good that they ended the way it ended for Dirk, because he kind of passed the torch off. You know.
Where's he from, anyways? Luka. Slovenia or something like that.
We look like idiots now.
Yeah, we're fools.
Well, I mean, come on, look. He in Europe. He started.
Slovenia, isn't it?
I thought he was from Spain.
No, that's where he played. He played in Real Madrid. He played Real Madrid in Spain. But Slovenia, I think, is right. We kind of have to Google this now, man.
Yeah, let me Google it. And then
I think him and Porzingis. I was surprised to hear Porzingis get interviewed, and he was speaking Spanish. You know, I was like, what?
He played in Spain too, right?
Yeah. He just spoke perfect Spanish. They were just interviewing him, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm even more of a fan now. Just because he knows Spanish.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's Slovenian.
Yeah, man.
Slovenia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slovenia. Yeah, nice.
Did you guys see Porzingis got in a fight over there in his hometown?
Yeah, I saw that.
That's crazy, man.
He's in the tabloids, but he's still young too, and I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about that. I wish I didn't hear it, but hopefully it doesn't affect his game, you know?
Yeah. He's been in the tabloids a lot too for that other thing with the woman.
For the what?
The woman.
Oh, yeah,
Where
I saw that too.
No. She accused him of rape.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
But the Dallas Mavericks knew about that before they signed him.
The NBA did too, and
everyone knew about it.
So did the team that he was with before, the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
They knew that.
Yeah, so they took a calculated risk, and they knew. They probably saw the evidence, and they probably knew that the girl was probably bluffing or just full of BS.
Money.
Yeah, just wanted money.
Get paid.
Yeah, that's it.
And it happens.
Yeah. Extortion happens all the time.
All the time.
Same thing with Zeke. I don't know if you guys saw, but he got arrested. Not arrested. He got detained at a concert.
I heard about that.
When was this?
It was last month, I believe, early July.
Yeah, I think he got into it with security.
A security guard, and they didn't arrest him. He was detained, and basically after everything was said and done, he was free or whatever. The security guard tried to,
You think we should pay Zeke?
Try to get money out of Zeke. Pay Zeke? Yeah. That's everyone's question right now. That's the biggest question right now in Dallas.
You think we should pay Zeke, Jersey?
I think we should pay Dak first.
I think he's proven himself as a top running back.
Oh yeah.
I'm a little worried about his off-field antics, but dude, I think we should pay him.
I think we should take care of Dak first. So that's my big thing.
The way I see Zeke is he's a guy that without him, we wouldn't had the success Cowboys had the previous years. So, and by success, I mean actually making it to the playoffs, right? Winning a playoff game, winning more than one. So, which previously we hadn't, right?
Yeah, like 11 years.
So Zeke is kind of like the grunt, like the soldier, the warrior, the workhorse,
The front lines.
He's the one that we load up all the carts on, and he pulls it. You know what I'm saying? He's our guy, man. I think we should pay him. I think we should pay Dak. I think we should pay
Amari.
Yeah.
The reason I think we should pay Dak first and then worry about Zeke after. Well, one, the QB market is super broken right now. So you got QBs who don't deserve to get paid what they're getting paid more than what they obviously deserve, you know. So you got Carson Wentz, who hasn't had a healthy season since he's been in the league. You got him getting paid 34 mil a year, and he's done way less than Dak as far as production goes, statistically, production, wins, everything. When we needed Dak, and, you know, say what you want about him, but he was there. He was there, and he came through most of the time. And for Dak to see that a quarterback lesser than him is getting paid, you know, so much money, how do you think that makes him feel?
Yeah.
So I don't think Carson deserves that, and I don't think Dak deserves that much. But I think Dak deserves to get paid whatever Carson gets paid. So we have to match whatever Carson.
Well, and here's the thing about that, which I don't like about the NFL, is the cap.
Yeah.
Okay. So every team has a certain cap that they can only use per year for the players. I think that allows the owners to get more money in their pockets instead of being able to pay the players what they would want or what you would need to pay them, especially now. Every year you hear somebody getting a new contract, highest paid wide receiver, highest paid quarterback, highest paid tight ends, and so on, right? So it limits all the other teams, but then again, all the other players want the same or close to it, that new ceiling, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's rough for the players.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little unfair, especially how you do it with baseball. Baseball, you get so much more money, you know? And I think NFL or football is more taxing than baseball as far as physically.
Longevity and that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, you play football, you're a professional, your longevity is 2 to 4 years in the league, you know?
Well, it depends on the position for sure. But if you're referencing running backs,
on average, it's 2 to 4 years.
Oh, for everyone?
Yes.
Well, yeah, probably because I know linemen, they can last up to 15 years. But, you know, you have people who get hurt in their first year or two.
Right.
I was asking, slightly off topic, but I was asking Joe earlier if he thinks the NFL will still be a league, like maybe the next 10 years or something like that. You know, just because they're finding all these really bad brain injuries and stuff. What do you think about that, Jose?
Man, it's sad. It's sad to hear. So, you know, a lot of people have invested a lot of money into the safety of the game. Okay, when the game was first made and played, it was a beautiful thing. It still is. Football is a beautiful game. Okay. I love the simplicity of it, and by that I mean you can have kids watching the football game, and it doesn't matter what team they're rooting for. If a touchdown is scored, they're happy. Hey, it's a touchdown. That's nice. It's awesome. But as an adult, we look at it, it's like, oh, the other team scored. Screw that. Blah blah blah. F this, right? But so much money. Oh yeah. So much money has been invested into upgrading their helmets, shoulder pads, you know,
the hits
leg pads,
the hits you can
scientifically,
the hits that you can legally do now. You know, a lot of hits aren't allowed. Mm-hmm. So anything under the
they protect the quarterbacks now. You know, you can't hit above the neck, you can't hit below the waist, or you can't hit below the knee.
Yeah.
Right. So which is just measures they have to take. I've heard rumors of them eliminating the punt. The kickoff. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The kickoff. Just to make it safer for the receiving team. It's sad to hear about the previous generational players that come and are losing their minds because of injury or their bodies are hurting and they're always in pain. It's sad, man. But I think they kind of knew what they were getting into.
They did.
100%. They grew up playing football. They played football professionally, and there's consequences to it. Yeah, there's rewards, but there's also consequences. I don't know if they should be compensated for anything, but if there was proof of neglect from coaches or teams, owners, then yeah, I'm all for them being compensated. But if it's just because they want money now or they're running out of money and they just want to get a paycheck,
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth it that way.
No, yeah, that's a really good take on that, actually, because are you familiar with Arian Foster?
Yeah,
So he was a running back for the Houston Texans for the longest. He was actually really good.
yeah, really good.
But yeah, he was on another podcast with Joe Rogan,
Okay.
and he was talking about how every player knows what they're getting themselves into. Everyone knows. They know the toll they're taking on their body, and they know the toll that they're going to eventually have on their brain. But it's still worth it to them to get out of the situation that they were in before, and they'd rather set their kids for life and put their body on the line than the alternative, which is most likely ending up where you started off. For most people, at least. Not everyone. There's a lot of people who their families have been in the league for generations now. You got 4 or 5 generations in the league, and they're still killing it. But I don't know. I feel like there is no form of neglect for most people, because they all know what they're getting themselves into, and they've been playing it for years. They know how dangerous the game is.
I do appreciate the league trying to make it a safer game.
Yeah.
Even in high school, and that's going back all the way to even middle school, just trying to be more safer from there onto high school, college, and professionally.
I don't agree with Pee Wee. I don't think that should be a thing.
Do they even allow tackling in Pee Wee?
Yeah, they do.
They do.
They do,
Wow.
and I don't think it should be a thing.
Why
Because
not?
How hard? For one, why do you want kids, being dragged around like that purposely? I know kids are always playing around, but intentionally hitting somebody and damaging stuff at that young of an age, I just don't think it's right. I don't see anything wrong with starting off a little bit older, like 12, 13 years old.
Yeah.
I understand it sets you back as far as like talent goes, but how much do you really take in as a kid? Unless you're just special like that.
They are coached to just tackle and hit, hit them, get that ball, and that mentality seems a little rough, but it is football, man.
No, I
feel like
understand.
I feel like at that age though, man, like they're so small. I don't think they can do like legitimate like damage to themselves like that age.
I think it's like proportional, the damage that they can do to each other. Like the damage that we do to each other now as grown men. I feel like they can get not just as hurt, but I would say close to it, man. They're just little kids still. I'm not saying they're trucking each other, but I think they can get hurt pretty bad.
Professionally, I see a football game, and I think it's a war. It's a war between one side and the other, but it's controlled, and you got your generals on the side, which is your coaches. You got your certain key players trying to make certain plays, and it's a strategic game, and that's what makes it nice. Now, when it comes to Pee Wee football, even high school football, I'm not a fan. I'm not. I don't watch it. I don't pay attention to it. Even college ball, it can be interesting. It's sometimes fun, but they don't get paid. I wish they did. They get hurt, and that's it, man.
Yeah, their career,
It's
their
pretty much
education's
who's going
gone.
to come out healthy in the next 2 years and make the draft.
Yeah.
What are people's arguments against paying the players? Have you guys heard like legitimate arguments about like why they think they still shouldn't pay college players?
I don't know any legitimate arguments, but I know why they don't want to do it. It's like I said, for greed. They want all that money in their pockets. They don't want it in the players' pockets.
For the school?
Yeah, they want everything for the school. It's just a brand.
Okay.
It's like Nike and Under Armour. They're all brands. At the end of the day, these schools, these logos, they stick on clothes and they sell jerseys. It's a big ass brand, you know.
I don't even think they let college players have sponsors,
They don't.
right?
No, they don't. Everything's illegal because I think what's his name, Zion, was getting in trouble because of because signing. He was gonna like sign someone.
He was being bribed, or not bribed. His
Under the table,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
I don't know if any of that's true or not, but yeah, it's pretty messed up. Like at least like let a side hustle be a side hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I mean, they're of legal working age. You know,
18.
18. So I
Yeah.
mean, it's
I mean, I'm sure they're there on scholarships and stuff, and I guess that's where the school can defend itself. Oh, you're here, you're getting a free education, maybe free living, you know.
Yeah.
So there's no need to pay.
And then I watched this guy on YouTube who I forgot the name of the channel exactly, but his channel was based off of him trying to make it into the NFL. And so he would document his workouts at school and bring out his football. Like he would make money off of YouTube by showing his workouts from football.
He would market himself.
He would market himself basically, but the school, or I don't know if it was, I think it was a school. They didn't allow him to do that.
Wow.
It was against their rules, so he wasn't allowed to document or even mention football in his videos.
Wow.
So when he was working out, he'd have to like deliberately avoid bringing up football or anything like that, or he couldn't say it's certain workouts. So it's pretty messed up how he can't even do that as a side hustle, you know. So he'd have to make other videos and whatnot. I completely forgot who it was, but I just remember watching his videos like, damn, that's messed up.
Yeah, I heard of it too. You ever see those YouTube videos about those kids that are like super talented?
like the really, really young ones.
The really young ones, yeah. You're talking like 7, 8-year-old, like basketball or football players that can run really fast and dribble really good and shoot very well, and they're just kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw a YouTube video on them now, you know, because that was years ago. And did any of them make it? Did any of them, you know, go into the professional leagues and make something of themselves? Most of them didn't, you know. They were child prodigies, and then all of a sudden they just fell off the map. And it's kind of sad, I think, because so much talent going to waste.
Yeah,
you know?
I saw something like that with the I think this was back in like 2010, but he was known as the world's strongest 12-year-old, and so he was like some super ripped 12-year-old kid.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
And everyone was concerned about how ripped he was back then or how much weight he was pushing, because they're like, oh, it's gonna eventually stunt his growth and he's gonna damage his body and all this stuff like that. And he was huge, man, for a 12-year-old. He was huge. He was built like Arnold Schwarzenegger for that age, you know.
Yeah, it's
but
crazy.
then I saw a video of him now. He stayed at like 5'9", not even that, maybe 5'7", and he's still ripped, but he's not big or anything like that. It's not impressive.
Yeah.
But it looks like his growth was stunted very badly.
Yeah.
From that, and that's just proof that, like, you know, like parents shoving their kids into things they don't want to do.
Yeah.
And then they start convincing themselves that they do want to do it. So when people ask them, like, oh, you know, is it you or your parents? And then they're like, no, it's definitely me. Like, I want to do it. But in reality, it was the parent who installed that will and drive into them.
I feel like the media in general tries to do a good job. I mean, does a good job at overhyping a lot of these kids at times, and then like sets this bar that may be unreachable for them. And sometimes I think it can affect them mentally, to where like if they enjoy what they do as a kid, but once you say like, oh, you're gonna be like the best in this sport when you get older, it puts like this weight and this pressure on you that sometimes can be a little bit too much. Like I know this. I know you guys have probably heard of Freddie Adu.
I haven't.
Yeah, have you?
I have not.
Freddie Adu, he was like this prodigy. This was like in the late 90s or early 2000s. But he was supposed to be like the next big American soccer star. Like he was like overhyped in the MLS, and people were saying like he's gonna be the next Pelé.
Wow.
Like they overhyped this guy to standards that he couldn't meet, and he just ended up being like a regular player. He didn't even reach any potential at all, you know. Like it was like a big flop, and there's like a big story they always bring up in the MLS and soccer and stuff. And I just feel like sometimes we put too much pressure on these kids.
Yeah.
Like child actors too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A bunch of them, like, you know, you've heard about all these Disney stars that end up cracking under pressure when they get older, just because they have like the media in their face 24/7. First one that comes to mind probably Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
You know, with all that Michael Jackson stuff, and Home Alone was so big that he was just a huge child actor. And then I know he was on some serious drugs. You know, for he's like 30 years old right now, 34, 35, but he looks like he's freaking 90 because of the drugs that he's done.
Yeah,
And
that's crazy.
And right now he's like recuperating from all that. He's like sober and stuff like that. But it just goes to like show all that pressure that we put on, you know, kids and the media.
You gotta let them be kids sometimes too, you know.
For real.
That's crazy.
Well, I think on that note, it's a good way to end the podcast. It's slowing down a little bit. Or did you guys want to keep going on something else?
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on. I'll pass the mic back to Nick. You guys can continue if you'd like.
So, yeah, that's basically all we have for you guys today. I want to apologize in advance for probably the crappy audio, but it was on the road, so it should add a little bit of authenticity to the podcast. But yeah, thanks for tuning in for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it.
And thanks, guys. Make sure you check us out on the YouTube channel, Instagram, everything at the Rest Area Podcast.
Thanks for having me on. It was a fun experience for sure, and I appreciate the invite.
Yeah, no problem. We'll probably have Justin on a couple more times, but yeah, you can follow me on Instagram or Twitter or anything like that at Joe the POTUS. You want to plug in your ads, Justin?
Nah, I don't have anything worth plugging in, man.
Mine's at Nico8 for everything.
Yeah, that'd be all. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.